Again, I have Alexis, Arabia, Ciara, Dwayne, Giovanni, Kamaya, Kayla, Mela, Takia, and Tisa. So I'm waiting for Mahmoud, Caleb, Alonzo, and Shaquasia. Mahmoud, I have you on here. Great, thank you, Caleb. I have you on here. Great, I'm just waiting on Shaquasia and Alonzo. And Shaquem. Great, Shaquem, I just saw you got logged in. Thank you. Great, looks like that is everybody. So let's go ahead and get started. So as always, make sure you have your videos on, your microphones are off. Your Nearpod, the Nearpod link is available on the Google Classroom assignment. In case you get kicked off, you can always go back there to get back on it. And as always, our APUSH norms, make sure you are here on time and responding actively to cold calls. This is going to contribute to a quiz grade and you do not want to lose these points. As always, Zoom expectations, please have your videos on, microphones off, and only use the chat feature when you are prompted or if you are asking me direct questions. I do not always get the chance to see the chat immediately. So if you have a very, very important question, please raise your hand. That's easier for me to monitor. As always, your Google Classroom assignments are available with the Nearpod link. Thank you so much to everybody that submitted their homework last night. Even I really appreciate it because I want to make sure you guys have the best grade possible. And as always, please set up your learning space to be constructive. This usually involves a Chromebook. Make sure you have all materials gathered to be successful in the class. Great. Caleb, can you please read the materials that we need for the day? Caleb, can you please read the materials for today? Should be on your Nearpod slide. Okay, we might be having a tech issue, so I'll follow up with him later. Tisa, can you please read our materials for the day?
You said the first one?
Yes, please, the one on the left.
Norms and agenda.
Can you read all of it?
Do now, oral drill, doc analysis, discourse, and exit.
Thank you very much. Okay, so Tisa just read our agenda for the day. Skyanne, can you please read our materials for the day?
Notes from Friday's lecture, accessed, Google assignment pulled up, Nearpod accessed, all other tabs closed.
Thank you very much. It's really important that we do have all other tabs closed and you just have your Nearpod and your school assignment up. This is going to help with the internet and bandwidth issues. So we're going to transition to our Do Now Google form. You have 5 minutes to complete. I'll give you 30 seconds to access that Do Now. It is the one that starts with a multiple choice question. Okay, we should be all on our Do Now. You have 5 minutes to complete. I'll be monitoring for responses. 5 minutes on the clock. Go ahead and get started. Three more minutes. Great, Giovanni, Mahmoud, I have your responses. Two more minutes. Kayla, Alonso, Sierra, I have yours. Thank you, Soraya, Yabdi, Skyan, Shakim, I have yours. Thank you, Arabia, Tisa, I have yours. Ten more seconds, go ahead and start submitting. Even if you did not get through the last question, go ahead and submit it so that way I can see what we have. Okay. So the first thing I am going to review now that I'm looking at your guys's responses is the response to question number 1. So which of the following represents a difference between New England settlers and Chesapeake settlers? So we obviously know that Jamestown in Virginia, so the South, they came to start up a joint stock company, which means to make a profit. So that's what's most notable about the Chesapeake, is that they're worried about money and they're worried about profit. So I'm going to cross out option C, which says New England settlers were encouraged to come to America by reports that they would prosper, because that's more of a Southern thing. That's more of a tobacco Jamestown issue. So now that I'm looking at it and I think about who are the people coming to New England, I remember that there are a lot of religious refugees, like the Pilgrims, and that they're worried that they have been persecuted in Europe. So they are more concerned about, as families, about like escaping that type of persecution. So I know that they're not indentured servants if they're coming for religious safety. And I also know that they didn't really receive helps from Native Americans. So I know that that's not the option, which only leaves option B. New England immigrants usually arrived as families. And this corroborates my thinking that these are probably religious refugees that are coming for safety. So number 1 is B. The biggest difference between New England settlers and Chesapeake settlers is New England immigrants usually arrived as families, but Southern immigrants usually came as like single young men trying to make money. As for question 2, all of the following characteristics of colonial England contributed to tight-knit communities with a high level formality, except I'm gonna choose option D, because I know that religion plays a really big role in the government of these New England colonies, which is corroborated in question 2 when I read the sections of the Mayflower Compact where they talk about Christianity and God a lot in that type of setup. So again, the biggest thing that we need to remember about these New England colonies is that they were established for religious refuge by families trying to create a sense of safety for themselves. Now that we've reviewed the do now, we are going to transition to our oral drill, which should be, the fill in the blank should be available on your Nearpod. As always, we are going to take 3 minutes to do so. So 3 minutes on the clock to fill in the blank. Go ahead and get started. Thank you, Shaquasia. I just saw your message. I'm messaging you now. Great, I have 8s out of 8s for Arabia and Ciara. 8s out of 8s for Arabia. Kamaya, Ciara, well done. Great job to Kia, Giovanni. Great job, Mela. Great, and that is 3 minutes. Go ahead and finish up. Still waiting on Kayla's, Caleb's, Alonzo's, and Yabdi's. So go ahead and finish up quickly. Are you guys able to see the answers projected? Arabia, can you unmute and tell me what you're seeing on Nearpod?
It just says nice work. You got 8 out of 8 correct.
Because I'm just looking to see if I can project this to you guys. Okay, so I'm going to read out loud the fully correct passage. Religion is the most defining factor of the Middle Colonies. Pennsylvania was founded by William Penn, who was a Quaker. Rhode Island was founded as a colony to provide refuge to religious minorities. So again, whenever we talk about the Middle Colonies, we are talking about a lot of different religious groups. I'm gonna skip through this because this is technically tomorrow's. We are going to transition to page 1 of your classwork packet. Today, we are going to spend some time looking at a passage by a man named John Winthrop, who was a pastor. And I want you to read this passage and consider why this man thinks the colonies are so special. Why is the new colonies, why are they special? Why are they potentially chosen people? You are going to read this passage and you have a series of 5 questions on the following page. You are going to have 9 minutes. I know the slide says 8, I'm going to give you an extra minute. You're going to have 9 minutes to read this passage and answer those questions. Please raise your hand on Zoom if you have any questions. Great, looks like we're good to go. You have 9 minutes to answer the questions and read that passage. Be prepared to be cold called when we come back. So again, be prepared to be cold called when we come back to answer those questions. 9 minutes on the clock. Go ahead and get started. Wayne, can you message me your question, please? Thank you. Thank you, Mela. You have 6 more minutes. I'm going to start jumping into your guys' classwork documents. Three and a half more minutes. You have 1 minute left. Please use the raise hand feature on Zoom if you need another minute. there are enough of us. Please go ahead and lower your hands. I'm going to give us 2 more minutes to finish up. Thank you, guys. Thirty more seconds. Go ahead and finish up whatever question you are on. Great. Go ahead and pause. I want you to take 30 seconds, review your answers, and be prepared to be cold called on as we discuss. Starting with question number 1. How does Winthrop want people to behave? How does he want people to behave? Can I hear from Soraya and then Mela? Please unmute and share. Soraya, can you unmute and share? Okay, I'm going to follow up with Soraya and see if there's a technical issue. Mela, can you go ahead and respond? Mela, if you're talking, we can't hear you. Can you check your mic? Okay, let's see. Yeah, it looks like Mela's having some mic issues as well. So let's try this again. Okay, so yes, Leah, why don't you go ahead and take us there?
Okay. Winthrop wants people to behave as a loving and caring person to one another, and to like show the Christian life, because he refers to like the people in the Bible that was like very loving and kind to one, like to each other individual.
Great. And I'll take another hand. Why does he want people to behave this way? Why does he think it's important for them to behave as good Christians? May I have a hand, please? Thank you, Shakim.
I think it's because he said that they'd be the colony on top of a hill, so everybody was going to look at how they treated each other, and they were going to do the same.
Beautiful. Speaking of that phrase, we are going to transition to the Nearpod very quickly for an open-ended question, and it is going to be up here on your screen, but I want you to take 30 seconds just to think. What does the phrase city upon a hill mean? What does the phrase city upon a hill mean in this context? So what does a city upon a hill mean? Take 2 minutes in the Nearpod to stop and jot. Should be up for you to respond. Two minutes. One more minute. Go ahead and start submitting. Great responses, everybody. Okay, please go ahead and submit your response if you have not done so yet. Great. Can I hear first, what does city upon a hill mean? Why would they say city upon a hill? I want to hear from Kayla and then Kamaya.
It's used in politics. Basically, it's saying America is beacon of hope to the world, or so, you know.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And Kamaya?
I said a city on a hill is a peaceful city, and they take the risk of ignoring colonizers that oppress them.
Mm-hmm. Great. So I love these responses. City upon a hill, especially going back to what Kayla just said, is a phrase that America uses to define itself till now. So this sermon was written by John Winthrop in 1630, and we are still referring to this phrase city upon a hill almost 400 years later. Almost 400 years. So that is the biggest takeaway from this class, is that America is founded on this idea that we are a city upon a hill that is meant to be looked up to. So looking at question number 3 in your class packet, how is Winthrop's vision of Massachusetts Bay different than what we know about Jamestown? So if Massachusetts Bay is the city upon a hill and this religious beacon of hope, how does that compare to our understanding of Jamestown? Can I hear from Jalasia and then Giovanni?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm still reading this thing.
Sorry, I realized after I called your name that you had just gotten in here. Giovanni, can I hear from you, please?
I guess because Jamestown had went through the starving time, and Massachusetts Bay didn't go through anything, so it was seen as the superior city.
So you're looking at like which city is successful. I want us to go back to the do now. What is the key difference between the founding of the New England colonies compared to the Chesapeake or the Southern colonies? What is the key difference between those? Please take 1 minute in the Zoom chat. Thank you, Skyanne and Kayla, for being willing to raise your hands. I just want to see this in the Zoom chat. Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you, Skyanne. Great, so I'm seeing this theme that New England came in families. How does that compare to Jamestown? Make sure we're including that in the Zoom chat. So if New England came as families for religious refuge, how did Jamestown come? Beautiful. Beautiful work, you guys. So New England is coming for religious refuge, and Jamestown is going just for a profit, just to find out how much money they can make with this new tobacco plant. Those are the two big differences. So Jamestown is about money, the Massachusetts Bay Colony is about religion first and foremost. Religion is the most important thing in the world to them. Religion is the most important thing. With that, we are going to transition to the exit ticket. Great work today. I'm going to be monitoring the exit ticket and checking our submissions. Make sure you are fully responding to the question. And once your exit ticket is submitted and I see that you fully answered the question, you may go. You may now open up the exit ticket. And again, make sure you are being thorough. This is getting graded. Great. Alonzo and Shakim, you may go. Mahmoud, you may go. Beautiful response, Ciara. You're getting merits for that. And Arabia, you may go as well. Kayla, you may go. Alexis, you may go. Beautiful response, Dwayne, you may go. Thank you, Jalasia, you may go.